Coming up on this week's news, another rollover bus crash sends passengers to the hospital. The last person still hospitalized from a summer crash in New York finally goes home, and we look at the dazzling lighting test that revealed the splendor of the Gordie Howe Bridge at night. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's update of all that's coming down the pike. We begin this week with another rollover bus crash. This time it happened on the Newport Pell Toll Bridge in Rhode Island just before the weekend, leaving 2 passengers and the bus driver with injuries. According to Rhode Island State Police, the Rhode Island Public Transit Authority bus was crossing the bridge from Connecticut to Jamestown when the driver apparently lost control of the bus just as he was getting to the Jamestown side of the bridge. Police say the left side of the bus then struck the center guardrail, causing the vehicle to swerve uncontrollably to the other westbound travel lanes before striking a light pole and guardrail on the right shoulder. The bus then rolled onto its side. Reports were 1 person did refuse medical treatment on the scene, but 2 other passengers and the driver were taken to area hospitals. No fatalities were reported. The cause of the crash remains under investigation, but weather could have played a role as heavy rains moved across the area when the crash happened early Thursday afternoon. The last patient, a 6-year-old girl, has been released from a Buffalo area hospital almost 5 weeks after being injured in a horrific rollover crash of a tour bus on the New York State Thruway. Local media reported the girl was discharged September 24th. The August 22nd crash left 5 people dead. Another 48 people were injured. Local media report a pair of patients are going through longer-term rehabilitation on an outpatient basis. The cause of that rollover crash does remain under investigation, but it is believed to have originated with distracted driving. Meanwhile, the first lawsuit against the bus driver and the tour bus company was apparently filed Friday, September 27th. According to local reports, the suit was filed by 2 New York men who were injured in the crash. An audit of the New York State Thruway's toll billing system found a 95% accuracy rate in toll transactions, but some glaring issues stand out, notably billing errors at exit 25A in Albany. The report was released in the past week by the state's controller, Thomas DiNapoli, and examined about 22 million transactions over a 3-week period. The report found 95% accuracy rate in transactions and billing, but a notable discrepancy was found near the state capital of Albany, with an exit that is supposed to be free for short local trips. The report found 36,000 transactions were billed that should not have been charged, while another 8,000 drivers that should have been tolled were not. Across the entirety of the Thruway, the report found about 91,000 transactions that could not be billed due to unreadable license plates or other technical issues. Again, that's out of about 22 million transactions total. Applegreen will not be coming to Massachusetts, at least not anytime soon. The company had won a bid in June to redevelop and operate the service plazas of the Massachusetts Turnpike, but the Dublin-based company announced in the past week it was pulling out of a $750 million deal with the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. The company released a statement to media in the past week stating that 3 months of negotiations with MassDOT have failed to yield a definitive agreement on terms of redeveloping those plazas or the 35-year lease the company was supposed to have been awarded to operate the plazas after redevelopment. A competing contractor, Global Partners, which is based in Massachusetts, had started court litigation over the contract award to Applegreen, which, as we mentioned, is based in Dublin, Ireland. In a statement, the CEO of MassDOT, Monica Tibbetts-Nutt, stated the agency is moving forward with the redevelopment project, but she said it is unclear whether the agency will work with Global Partners, particularly since the company is suing MassDOT. Stay tuned for more. A quick reminder that Monday, the 29th, was the first day tolls were to be charged on the new tolled segment of State Road 509. That's that new expressway in SeaTac just south of Seattle. The roadway opened in June between I-5 and 24th Avenue. Another reminder that the Garcon Point Bridge in the Pensacola area of Florida is now cashless. A conversion was due to be wrapped up over the weekend as part of the statewide push to be completely cashless on all toll roads in Florida. And another heads up, tolls are going up a tad on Card Sound Road this week. That takes drivers from Florida's mainland to the Keys. The The Card Sound Toll Road Authority made the announcement about 2 weeks ago, stating it was raising rates October 1st in accordance with toll indexing, which is tied to the Consumer Price Index. If you have a transponder, a crossing will now cost about $2.13. That is up about a nickel. And finally this week, the Gordie Howe International Bridge was lit for the first time during the past week, as can be seen in this video from the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority. The Gordie Howe Bridge will be the third international crossing of the Detroit River between Detroit and Windsor, of course. That is, once it opens later this fall. An exact date has not been announced. The bridge operators were testing the new lighting system on the bridge, which uses about 5,000 LED lights to illuminate the roadway, the towers, all 216 bridge cables, as well as the bridge decking. By the way, the first webinar for commercial drivers who may be using the bridge is happening October 2nd this week. It is the first in a series of webinars the Bridge Authority says it will be hosting for commercial users. That is going to wrap things up for this week. We'll return again next week with continuing updates to help your travels. Thanks again for watching and listening, and please remember to drive safely and avoid distracted driving. I'm Danny Pryor reporting for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.